Hi guys, Christine's here, Beachbody coach. I talk a lot about health and fitness, obviously, as a health and fitness coach, but what I'm going to talk to you about tonight can be applied to anything. So let me get to it. I want to ask you a question. Do you ever struggle with motivation? Or maybe you start something, but you find you struggle to finish things. You quit soon after. You just can't seem to stick to it. And maybe you look at other people, maybe even me, for instance, and you kind of think to yourself, I want what they have. You think they must have some like superpower or something like, how do they stay so motivated all the time? I get asked that all the time. I get messages, how do you stay so motivated? How do you do it? I'm not any different than you guys, okay? And what this does is it creates doubt in yourself. Hi guys, see you saying hi, thanks. It creates doubts in yourself, right? And you start thinking, gosh, what's wrong with me, right? Because you want it, you want whatever it is, you want this thing, but you just can't stick to it. And you start thinking, I'm never gonna get there. I'm just not wired that way. I just must not be wired that way, right? I talk to a lot of women, and motivation is a word that is used, and men is a word that is used all the time. So I've been reading this book. It's called The 12-Week Year, and I do a lot of personal development type trainings, and I have this wonderful push coach. His name is Josh Coates. Between that book and him and some other stuff, I've been learning a lot about motivation. And here's the thing. If you are ever going to be successful, you have to understand this one thing about motivation. It's the trick to always being motivated. And it's what all the people at the top understand. So in any profession or sport or industry or whatever it is, you see the people out there that are getting it done, they understand this one thing that I want to share with you. And that is, you ready for it? There's no such thing as motivation. Okay? Ta-da! There's not. There's no such thing as motivation. Okay? And I know you're thinking to yourself, sorry, that was a low battery notification. You might be thinking to yourself, there is, and you're just missing it. And you find yourself thinking, and I know because I did this too, if I could just find this one thing, that would make me motivated. And you think, if I could, there's just some trick or formula or something other people know that I obviously don't know that's holding me back. And if I could get that, then I could achieve anything. And so what do? We try to find all these external ways to stay motivated. And so like we think, if I do this, then I'm going to buy that for myself, and that reward, that's going to keep me motivated. Or you think, I'm going to invest this money, and the fact that I invested the money in it, that's going to keep me motivated. Or you think, I'm going to sign up for this training with Chris. She seems so motivated. She's going to keep me motivated. And I try as hard as I can, but I can't do that for you. And none of that stuff is ever going to fully motivate you, because like I said, there's no such thing as motivation. So what do? It's not all, I didn't come on here to just tell you, it's all doom and gloom. There is a silver lining here, okay? So what we have to do is tap into something much more powerful than motivation. And thanks guys for the hearts and the likes. Appreciate that. So we've tapped into something bigger than that, okay? And it's called inspiration. So the problem with motivation, like those things that I just talked about, dangling carrots in front of yourself, they're all external things. And sometimes that can work, but it's usually short-lived. And you may have experienced this if you've attempted things and haven't been able to stick to them, right? So it works for a little bit, but not long. And then life happens, right? And you lose that motivation. So, but if you have inspiration, that's on the inside, and it's so much more powerful, and you can tap into it at any time, because it's not going to change the way external things will. And you won't need to come up with things to motivate yourself. You don't need to dangle carrots in front of yourself. You don't need to rely on if you stayed up too late the night before, or, it's gloomy outside, or you're in a bad mood, or your partner's in a bad mood, or what your kid's doing. All these external things that can impact what you do, the actions you take on a daily basis, right? It just ends up being a bunch of excuses. So if you're looking for motivation, you're constantly finding yourself having these excuses. It's because the outside is never going to line up the way you want it to. But the inside, we can control it, right? And we can tap into it at any time. And so inspiration, what does it come from? It comes from your vision about your life. If you're always just trying, if you don't have a vision for your life, and most people don't, we never take the time to create it or think about it or write it out. But if you don't have it and you're just always looking for some external achievement, like a promotion, or I'm a health fitness coach, so maybe a weight loss goal, or a lifting goal, or an income goal, right? So these external things, you're not going to be able to stay motivated for those things very long, because that's not what you really, really, really want in life, okay? Now, they're good goals, they're good stepping stones, and they're necessary achievements along the way, and they'll happen naturally, but they're not what you really, really, really want, okay? And so if it's been a while since you've thought about your vision and what you really want, which if I were to take a bet, I would say it is, we're going to do that. I want you to do that, because too many people are told, whether directly or indirectly, to kind of live an average life and to stop dreaming and to not take risks and be happy with what they have, which we should always be grateful. Don't, stay safe, all that stuff. And if you do that, you're never going to really be motivated, because that stuff's never going to excite you. And you're never going to be full of energy if you're just pushing to stay where you are, pretty much, and be comfortable. So you need to have vision, okay? Vision is what you really, really, really want. And I don't even mean a year from now. I don't even mean 5 years from now. I'm talking like 10 years from now. I'm talking your life as a whole. I'm talking about what you want your legacy to be. Okay, so most people never take the time to think about that, and you have no idea what you really want in life. And so of course you're not going to work hard for it. You don't even know what you want. It's crazy, actually, to think that you would work hard when you don't know what you're working for. That makes no sense, right? It seems so silly. I did this too, and looking back, I'm like, no wonder, of course, that made no sense. So you have to, that's why if you have talked to me about joining my challenge group maybe, or coaching, I dig really deep with you, and I've probably asked you a lot of deep questions, right? For every answer, when I'm talking to people that are interested in joining my challenge group, most of my answers to their questions are, why? Why? Well, how does that impact you? What impact does that have on you? What else? Who else does it impact? What else does it impact, right? You probably are sitting there like, gosh, why is she getting so personal? Why is she getting so into my stuff? It's because you need to dig deep. I want you to create a vision for your future, because some 10-pound weight loss goal, 25, 50-pound weight loss goal, that's not going to keep you motivated, and you know it because you've had that same goal for years and you haven't been able to achieve it yet, right? So just that motivation alone isn't it. It has to go deeper than that, okay? Because here's the thing. It's never just about you. Right? It's never just about you. Every single person I talk to, whether it's about coaching or getting healthy, it's never just about them. Even if you think initially it is, you think, oh, I'm losing this weight for me. Who actually benefits from it? Everyone else in your life benefits from when you love your life, when you are healthy, when you are happy to wake up and do what you do for a living, when you're not stressing about income, when you're able to give to others without hesitation. Think of who benefits from that. It's not just you. It's not about you. Your family, your friends, your employer, your community. So everyone around you reaps the benefits of your success in your life, of what you're working so hard for. So, okay, so if you aren't sure, I'm going to get to it now. If you aren't sure where to start with your vision, think about this question. Hi, Jillian, I see you. She's a coach. She's in my training, she's on my coach team. I went through this in-depthly with them, but I'm trying to make it quick for this Facebook. So think about this question. Think about your vision. And I want you don't have to share this with anyone, so just go crazy with it, okay? Think about this. This is how it was posed to me. If there were no obstacles to getting this, okay, so basically pretend you're guaranteed. This is guaranteed to happen. Right. What would you want your life to look like 5 years from now? How does it feel? Where would you go? What would you do? What do you want your life to look like 5 years from now? Go crazy with that question, okay? And if you have a partner or spouse, something, ask them. Get them involved too. This can be a fun thing. I wrote this down. It was exciting. It should make you excited, okay? And remember, this is not about what you need, okay? You don't need a lot of things, right? I want to know what you want, what you before have thought of was too extravagant, or you felt like you shouldn't want that because it was too much, okay? Go crazy with it. So write that down. And then after you write that down, make sure you write down what it would feel like too. That's important. What does it feel like? Picture yourself with those dreams that you wrote down, that vision for your life. Close your eyes and think about it. Picture those things. What does it feel like? I'm thinking of it right now. It's amazing. Okay, sorry. This other thing I want you to think about too. Why shouldn't you have it? Why not you? Why not you and your family? Someone is going to get everything that you wrote down. People have those things already, and more people will get them. So why shouldn't it be you and your family? Do your kids not deserve it as much as someone else's? For me, my family, that has a lot to do with my vision. When I think about it, most of my vision revolves around them and my parents. I believe they deserve it more than anyone else. Why shouldn't they have it? I bet you think the same about yours. There's no shortage of anything that you wrote down. I guarantee it. There's only a shortage of people willing to do the work to get it. But if you have a vision for your life and you know that it's going to take 10 years to get to the vision, then you're not going to quit after 2 months, right? So you got to have that vision. Okay, this is my last thought, and then I'll be done. So maybe you don't believe you'll ever get your dream. Okay, maybe you don't ever believe that. And maybe you don't really believe much of what I said just now. So think about this then. Sometimes it's said, you have to change your thinking, which then will change your actions, which will change your results. And I do believe that. But I listened to something else over the weekend, and it talked about using willpower to achieve things. If nothing else, just use your darn willpower and do it. Because what will happen is if you do it, you'll start getting results, and you'll be forced to believe differently. You'll be forced to think differently, because if you're consistently getting positive results or achieving things, if you do the work, enlist willpower, do the work, and achieve these things, and constantly, week after week, is in your face, you're achieving them, you'll be forced to change your belief. Your results will change your belief in what you can achieve. So, if you now know what you really, really want in life, then why not spend the next few years pushing to try to get it, right? And if any of those things, I'm a Beachbody coach. I've been doing it almost 2 years. I love it. If you have a want to, if you found your vision, if you have a want to, maybe I can help you with the how to. So thanks guys for listening to me. This went a little bit longer than I had originally planned, but hopefully it's impacted you and you can see how important this is and you'll take the time to write out your vision. So thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your night. Bye.